Okay, on this online or hands-on section, what we're going to do is we're going to create a user account inside our AWS account, and then we're going to create an S3 bucket that we're going to be using to hold the backups, and we're going to give that user access to that particular bucket. Then we're going to go over to the on-premise and we're going to install the AWS CLI, authenticate using that user, and then send the backups up to the S3 bucket. Okay, now what we're going to do is create an AWS account inside of our existing AWS account, and this will be used for doing the upload. So you go into the Identity Access Management, click into Users, and now we're just going to create a new user, this Acme S3 user, which we'll use. And again, he'll just be a one-trick pony. The only thing he's going to be able to do is command line interface to upload to a specific S3 bucket. So no console access is needed. And then we really just, to start with, we just kind of blaze through and don't need to give him any sort of privileges. We'll come back once I create the bucket, and then I'll give access to this particular account to that bucket through a policy. Now this is kind of clear. This is how you get access to the keys themselves. There's an access key and a secret key. So this information is going to be used to authenticate. So we download that so I can have it for later on, and we'll use it as we kind of walk through the rest of this. Now I'm going to go through and actually create the bucket, which is kind of becomes our target of what we're going to be uploading stuff to. So again, over into the services, drill into S3, and here we can create a new bucket and just keep it in Oregon where we've been doing things. It just kind of steps through this. We're just going to take the defaults in this. At the AWS level, we've already blocked all public traffic for this particular account. So now we've got a bucket to use. Okay, now here I'm going to take a look at what the bucket is that we're going to grab it, and I'm just going to grab the ARN for that. So this will be the bucket that we'll be using, and so I'm going to go back over to the identity access, and I'm going to just give that one user we just created just access to that. I'm going to create a policy, but it's just going to be specifically just for that particular bucket. So I'm going to do it through a JSON just because this is a little easier. But I'll take what I've got over here, and I'm just going to paste in the definition of what the JSON is. Notice there you can see I've basically given the ability to list the bucket and then do also some puts and gets, and it's specific to that one bucket that we had right there. And there's the ARN that I got copied from the S bucket earlier when we drilled into it. So this will just give me access to only this particular bucket. And you can see this is the kind of parses that JSON and shows you what we've got. And now I'm going to create a policy that I'm going to then give to that same account. So I'll create the same type of Acme S3 policy, and then that'll be given to the Acme S3 user, and that will be the only thing. So this guy becomes a one-trick pony. The only thing he's going to be able to do is upload files. Okay, here we're going to install the AWS CLI. I'm going to do it just through a local curl command, and I'll just unzip it into the Oracle bin AWS directory. You could also sudo it and put it in in a yum install or something, but I'm just going to grab it and put it underneath the Oracle directory. And then once it's unzipped, you just use this install call and tell us where you're going to put it. And that's about it. Now it's going to be just a local available to Oracle to do the install, and then we can start using it. Okay, now we're going to actually use that access that account and push the data up. So the AWS configure will basically sets the access key that we created, and this is what we just downloaded from it's in that CSV file. So I'm just going to paste my secret key in here, and then I'll just I think we're going to Oregon, so I'll just kind of keep it in that as our default, and then this is kind of a one-time setup, and this kind of gives me access to the S3. And now here, located, I'm in where the database backup is. So I'm going to push the backup up through the AWS S3 CP command. So this pushes these guys up. These are small. This is a small database as a sample, but the same approach would be get the backups up ahead of time. And then we could worry about larger databases. Will take longer to push it up, but you'll still be able to recover before while the current database is still up and running. You can see we get down 110 megabits per second. It's not too bad. And now we can see what we pushed up. Over here on the S3 bucket, you can see those backups show up over here.